What is going on, everybody? I'm your average gamer, and today I want to talk to you guys about what I think is the most underrated game, franchise, or series out there. That game being Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, I'm saying underrated in the sense that nobody really even talks about it or even knows what it is. When I talk to my friends about this game, have they heard about it or even seen it? They all pretty much unanimously say no. They say they've heard of it, maybe never even played it. I totally get it though. Because if I wasn't introduced to this game at a young age, I would have no idea what this game even is. And, after watching gameplay, I wouldn't know if I would be interested in playing it. Now, my goal for this video isn't necessarily to persuade you into playing it or buying it, whatever that case may be. But, if you do watch this video and you do want to play it, that is super awesome. I really hope that you guys enjoy it. It's the whole reason I'm kind of making this video. If you're skeptical about spending money, this game came out, I think, at the early 2015, I think end of 2014. So I'm sure you could find a lot of good prices on it. It is on console, it is on PC. You can pretty much play it on everything. It is meant to just be enjoyed, and for good reason. Before I just start listing all the reasons why you should definitely play this game, I do have to say that this game has flaws. You're going to run into it. You might see a monster just fly up into the air. There was a time or two where I went to an objective on the map and nothing was happening or triggering, so I just had to restart and reopen the app, and then, of course, everything was fine. There's been a few times where the game just hard closes, and that can be super frustrating, but the game does give you generous saves, so you're going to be right where you left off anyway. You don't have to have that feeling of collecting so much stuff and then having the game close and you lose all of it. That can be super annoying, but none of that in this game, so thank God. Other than that, that's pretty much the extent of the issues I've ran into. You guys might experience something else, here and there, but like I said, it hasn't stopped me from playing the game, so I don't think it's going to really stop you guys from playing the game. Now that we're finally past that, I want to talk about why I think this game is just worth playing in itself, and that is because of the combat. It may not look super appealing, but I promise you, once you start experimenting and having fun and understanding the simple terms like CC and DPS, if you already know what that is, good for you. That's really going to help you out. But again, you don't need to really know all those things in order to play this game. This game is meant to be played by anybody. Anybody can play this game. I promise you. There is no age group on this game. You can be 10, you can be 60. A lot of people are going to enjoy it just based off of the combat alone. It's strategic, it's fun, sometimes it can be super flashy. I mean, dude, like, the character I have has dragon claws. That might sound super basic to you guys, but it's awesome. And the way it works is when you use them and you hit an enemy, you lose a portion of your health. But that can also be to your benefit, So that's just my type of build. There's archer builds, there's rogue assassin builds. You can do some nasty stuff with the dual blades. Man, it's disgusting. The mages are a little bit underwhelming, but my favorite thing to do in these types of games are crowd control, which is the CC. And having a group of enemies just contained in one area and you're just affecting everybody at the exact same time is very, very, very fun. Now, we're going to talk about the combat later on because I don't want that to be the focal point of this video. I want to bring up the story. One of the things I like about this game is that you have 9 companions you're able to bring with you into the battlefield. You're only able to have a 4-man party, so it's you and 3 others, but I promise you, you will remember a lot of them and you will have favorites. They're all different from one another, and they all have special, unique abilities that you're also able to have. So if you want, an archer build just like one of your old companions, you can do that, and you can do it better. But there's a scene right here that I want to talk about that just made me smile because it triggered off of me just regularly talking to the companion.
I watched the rifts expand and grow, resigned myself to flee, and then... It seems you hold the key to our salvation. You had sealed it with a gesture. And right then, I felt the whole world change.
For all our sakes,
As am I. You have fractured rules of man and nature, and you will shatter more before you are done. To visit me here, and you not even a mage.
What do you mean?
Where do you think we were?
This isn't real.
That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up.
Ironically, I could have replaced that clip with any other clip in the game. You know, that's not like a super awesome special clip that everyone's just dying to see. But the meaning behind what was going on between, you know, the Inquisitor, which is you, and then Solus has so much more meaning when you beat the game. And a lot of other characters will have that effect on you. I love when you go into a game blind, not knowing what to expect, and no matter what happens, you'll never guess what happens. I absolutely love that. And then all of the surprises are good surprises too. One small detail that I absolutely love when it comes to just the companions in this game is when you get to select them into your party. Now, they are shown as these cards with a name on top, but as the game progresses and as you get to know them more, you will get certain objectives and missions that will change how they feel about you, the Inquisition, or just anything as a whole, but it will also change the cards. Now, I love that because it gave me the incentive to go out and want to talk to all of them, whether it was to figure out what was going on with their story, or maybe just to see what the card was going to look like. Now, when it comes to the story, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it stupid brief and simple. So you're basically the only person that can close these giant rifts out of the sky, and these rifts are pouring demons into the world, so you're fighting a bunch of monsters, and you're also fighting other monsters that aren't demons, which are called Darkspawn. That's a whole different story. I'm making it sound a lot more boring and chaotic than it actually is. It's just everything that happens inside the main story is wild. You know, you'll run into one of the most known ones, I guess, is the mayor that flooded Crustwood. So he floods a whole town because he swears that they were sick. You know, and he goes, runs off and hides when people finds out his secrets. That type of stuff. And again, that's like a drop in the bucket for everything else that goes on into this game. Alright, so now that we thoroughly covered what happens in this story, I want to talk about the combat once again, mostly because that's what I have the most fun with. Now, you're able to play whatever you want. You can be a warrior with a big weapon, a sword and a shield. You can be a rogue, you know, like an assassin that has a bow and arrow or 2 daggers. You can also have them as like a warrior type, which is an interesting build. Mages can be straight DPS or a support group. You can be a straight tank. You can be a tank that does a little bit of damage. You can just be a straight DPS character with a big weapon. You know, you can do whatever you want. So there is no wrong way to play this game. With that being said, do not be the person that looks up what is the best character in this game. Do not do that, okay? Experiment with the game, have fun with it, create whatever character that you want to at first. For example, a lot of the people that say the Knight Enchanter isn't the best build in the game, I disagree, because that was the first build I ever made, and that is my baby. You know, that is just how it is. I'll give you a little secret. The Warriors might be probably the best pick if you're kind of struggling with this type of game, but there are difficulties. You know, if you've mastered this game, there are nightmare difficulties and trials you can put on and all of that type of stuff. Again, the combat is fun. It's pretty addicting. That in itself will have a lot of people playing, a lot of experimenting. Also, the scenery around you when you're fighting can be pretty cool. They're different, you know, big sandy areas, big foresty areas, basic video game settings, but still very, very pretty to look at. Also, as somebody that has put a whole lot of time into this game and has played on a bunch of different characters, I'll honestly tell you, I don't really have a favorite. At first it was the warrior, and then it was a DPS archer build, and then it was a DPS dual-bladed build, and I was like, oh my god, I'm never going to find a build better than this. And then I mastered the mage, and I was like, dude, this is actually intense. I really, really like this, you know. That CC, like I said earlier, destroying all the enemies at the same time, watching all those numbers pop up. You know, it's just very, very fun. The last thing that I want to talk about is the combo system in this game. So the way it works is the most simple one being freezing an enemy and then smashing them with a rogue or the warrior. So you freeze them with the mage, you swap over, and then you just smash them. Super, super fun. There are other ones where you can have this electric field over the group of enemies, and then if you burn them or terrorize them, they'll just run out of the field and then take some damage and get pulled right back into the middle. And so you just have all of these enemies just in that same spot, and you can just do so much burst damage in that moment. Again, it's all just depending on how you want to play the game. Also, you can just hack and slash your way throughout the entire game. You will come up with basic strats regardless, because there are going to be some encounters that kind of, you know, push your limits. And I like that. That's how games really should be. At the same time, some of you guys might just breeze through this game no problem, which is why there's multiple difficulties. And as the title suggests, you will be fighting dragons in this game. Dragons, giant spiders, ogres, darkspawn, which is my personal favorite. You'll have missions just built around Darkspawn. A lot of cool things that a lot of you guys can enjoy. So, is it worth buying? Yes, I absolutely think whatever price you find it for is worth the money. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, sub would of course mean the world. I do hope that you guys get to experience this game, and if I'm the reason that you ended up playing it for the first time or maybe again, just let me know. That would mean the world. As always, I love y'all, and I hope you guys stay smooth. Peace.